So, in order to center yourself, what do you both do as right now your practices for actually achieving
As far as centering myself, I really enjoy meditating, yoga, mountain biking, hiking in the mountains is really where I get away. I try to do that once a week.
that?
Uh, I can show you all the trails in San Diego if you want.
Oh, nice. Yes, please. I'm game.
You gotta get, yeah, have a local show you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Heather?
For me, we have, well, at work now, we have a 15-minute de-stress time that a couple of people on my team actually, like, we get out of our office and we meet outside and we do yoga postures and just kind of just take time out. And I also write a lot. That's kind of my way to escape. I do a lot of writing, and it's something I've been wanting to do more of. It's just finding, I guess, I don't know what it is, just finding the right outlet for it. It's something that I love to do. It's my true passion, and I just haven't, for some reason, there's something inside me that's keeping me from taking it to the next level. But that's what I do. That's my way of de-stressing is writing.
That's cool. Well, it sounds normal to experience resistance and not like be at your fullest potential.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, what I've noticed about the world today is that because we don't have the family structure as we used to, you have the parents, mother and father working full time now, and who's raising the kids? And it's the media, it's the peer groups, it's this or that. So as a result, we're not given the interpersonal skills that help us to discover, what our passions are and how to communicate and all those essential tools that I believe are needed for human connection and not only to others but to ourselves. And so without that connection, we have wandering souls who are all, a lot of people are trying to find their passion. A lot of people are trying to find what their purpose is, and a lot of lost souls running around. And so on one side of it, it's sad, and I feel the pain of people that don't have that because I used to be that individual. But on the other side of that, it gives rise to people like myself who are inspired, and like both of you who want to contribute and give back to others and help them reach that place that we're all looking for, and that place of peace and joy and fulfillment within our hearts. So sounds like you guys are on the normal path of a human being. That's good.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that.
You're not crazy. Yay!
We're not crazy. Yeah.
Now, my another question that I have for the both of you is, what does the future look like? What do you want? What's something you want to accomplish before you leave this earth?
Well, I definitely would like to reproduce and have a little mini Cory running around. That'd be good. And then I would like to take my mother on her lifelong dream trip. She's always dreamed of going to Africa and Israel, so I'd like to do that for her.
Nice.
Yeah. What about you, Heather?
For me, I mean, I'd like to, along the same lines, I mean, my adoptive mother is everything to me. I'd love to take her on her dream trip to Alaska. I'd love to become closer with my other side of the family, my biological family and my dad's side, which I haven't been as involved in. And I'd really like to do something that I really want to inspire others, and whatever that looks like. I mean, whether it's, that the orphanage, making a difference in just one kid's life, and then professionally, I'd like to write, be published, be a published author. That's my dream.
Nice.
A lot of, sorry.
What was that? The last part?
The last part?
Yeah, you were saying.
Oh, I was just saying a lot of things.
Oh yeah.
All kind of coming together. Sorry.
Oh, no worries. It's really good to know what your path is and what you guys would like to accomplish. You know.
Yeah. I mean, that's the big question, right?
Oh yeah. What is our purpose? What are we here to do?
Right.
I've just recently found that actually within what I'm doing now for the EvoRoom. So I feel really, really good about the path that I'm on and what it can do for others and this entire world. So it's really exciting.
And you're here in San Diego for a reason, right?
Oh yeah. San Diego has my heart. I was born in the Philippines. Lived in Hawaii on Oahu for a couple of years, Atlanta, Georgia. So different places and bounced around a lot, but always found myself back here in San Diego for I think 22 or so years now. I've been here.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah. So I appreciate you too for answering my questions, and I'd like to take this time now to answer any questions that you two might have.
Well, my question is, I mean, how did you come to come up with the EvoRoom, and what are you hoping to inspire others by this? I mean, what can you give us kind of what your purpose is and why you created EvoRoom?
I would love to. The EvoRoom was created actually out of suffering and pain. Came from a household where I experienced abuse both mentally and physically. But most recently, what sparked, I think, and triggered the rise of the EvoRoom was last year. I found out my wife at the time was having an affair, and then from there, my little sister, who was only 24 years old, passed in July. Then, that caused some issues within the family that, was difficult to deal with. And then also, financially, I had a negative bank account. So last year, probably the lowest I could ever be in life, with everything that I was experiencing. And then, one day I was in my room and bawling my eyes out, asking, the universe, what can I do to sustain myself, do what I really love to do, have fun, and impact people's lives. And the next morning was the inception of the EvoRoom. And then 2 weeks later was the first one that we created. So it answers that question, right, as far as why, and how it came to be. As far as what it's meant to do, 6 years ago, I made the vow that I will inspire people or leave a legacy by inspiring people long after I'm dead, like the Andrew Carnegies of the world, like the Martin Luther Kings of the world. And so I've always had a dream, to contribute in my life and impact people's lives. And so I see this as an opportunity to actually do that. How? Well, I believe the way that we can make the shift in the world that we're all awaiting and actually observing, that's in progress right now, is instead of going out and building schools in a particular place or contributing to this charity or that, I believe the way to accelerate this shift is for each individual to go inward and to discover their own power, their unique power that was given to them by the universe, and really tap into their potential. And once each individual does that, I mean, just a couple individuals have the power to change the world. But could you imagine what it'd be like if every individual tapped into their fullest potential and we all work together to make the changes that are necessary in this world? That's what I believe is the process. But then the next barrier that I notice is, how do you get people outside of Encinitas and the West Coast to actually want to participate in personal development? It's not something that is normal conversation, in the middle of America. So what my gift is combining fun and entertainment with transformation. And I never really understood how difficult of a task that is until getting into this, but it's something I do naturally. And my background in personal development for the last 6 years, healing my own wounds, dealing with my own emotional issues, allowed me to get on the path of figuring out, like, how do I heal myself. So I combined that with my background in, the event production industry, nightclub industry, throwing huge parties with celebrities and all of that, combining those two to create what the EvoRoom is, which is a way to really reach the masses and get people involved in personal development in a really fun way. And it just so happens that, when we're in joy and having fun, it accelerates the process of personal development.
That's awesome.
So that's what I'm into.
What type of events would you be a part of? Is it a... What should I ask?
Sorry about that.
No problem. Yeah.
Okay, where's your question, Cory?
Oh, on the EvoRoom, is it like a weekend type workshop, or how does it work?
Well, there's actually 4 different components that we utilize in a system to help an individual grow, and they're all kind of rolling out, as we develop. So the first thing that we've been doing is what we call a threshold experience, and a threshold experience is usually 9 to 30 hours long.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole purpose is to introduce an individual to the EvoRoom experience. And we're eventually going to roll out immersions, which are longer day experiences. And then we're also going to be producing concerts and festivals, all based on entertainment, but with seeds of growth within, the entertainment that we produce. And then from there, we're also going to be producing and also piggybacking media. So music, film, documentary series, video games, all media that has seeds of transformation embedded into it. Then we have an incentive program that's based off like the karate belt system to keep people motivated and to be able to measure personal development, because that's one of the hardest things to measure. How do you know when you actually emotionally have gotten to a place of growth? So
Sure.
we've studied a lot of science and quantum physics and all those things that allow us to really get a grasp of how consciousness unfolds itself. And then we've devised a system so that one can see measurably where they are in their personal development. And I believe that's necessary. It's just like when you go on a trip, you know your destination is here, but in the trip you know when you're progressing, and that that motivates you to keep moving forward. If you don't know where the fuck you're going, then you're probably going to deviate from your journey and then get lost, and then you're off in some other place and not to your destination. So we've created an incentive and reward program to keep people on path with personal development, acknowledged for the work that they've done, and with that, I believe it'll help to reach goals much faster and, again, accelerate their personal growth.
Cool.
And then the last thing is building community. I think, Heather, you mentioned it early, having a more personal interaction is something that's really important for you. That goes the same for us. So when we create threshold experiences, we do no more than 30 people. Why? Because we want each individual to become intimately connected with each other. And we focus a lot on that, in connection and relating, because back to what I was alluding to earlier as far as the family dynamic, when that doesn't exist, an individual, it's challenging for an individual to reach their fullest potential when they're not feeling supported, because it's hard to take risks when you don't feel like you're going to be supported if you fall on your face or make mistakes or whatever it's going to be. So we put a lot of effort and time, like doing things like this and interviewing people and understanding where they're coming from, and putting together like-minded individuals that we know. And also putting experiences together that get people truly connected and to each other. And out of that is just, I've watched some amazing things unfold. And so community is the fourth component of the system that is the EvoRoom. And hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, absolutely it does. Any other questions, Evan?
I guess what would a typical immersion, or not immersion, but use a threshold
Mhm.
kind of look like? Would it be like, I guess you said it, you're combining fun with also helping people realize their potential. Like what kind of, like, is it comparable to anything out there, or what, like what is your method, I guess? How do you
That,
get people connected? And
well, we create a lot of connection
uh,
exercises. You
right.
know, so a lot of connection exercises that's based around games. So we happen to be at the beach a lot, and on the beach we do some really fun, amazing things that we create on the fly sometimes, and a lot of the times it's already pre-planned of what the experience is going to be. So in the beginning of the day, we focus on connection first. You know, partnering up and doing little exercises with each other, blindfolds, watermelons. You know, all kinds of really amazing, crazy ways to connect people, but that are fun and exciting. And when people are having fun, the barrier starts to break down. All the conditioning that we have and the beliefs we have about ourselves and about each other and about the world tend to defragment, right? And with that opening comes greater connection. And then once the connection happens and the individual's open, then that's when we bring in a threshold experience, um, our facilitators, which are experts or coaches in, you know, particular fields that we train in. So we train in 5 core categories: nutrition, relationships, career, emotional well-being, and physical well-being, because we believe once an individual has balance in each of those categories, then they have overall balance in life. If you're lacking in your relationships, then you'll probably feel, you know, or if you're not in a great relationship but you have a lot of money, then you're probably feeling lack still, and that causes suffering. So, you know, we focus on those core categories, and we bring facilitators that come in, and we work with them to create really fun, you know, impactful experiences. So throughout the day, you'll have 4 or 5 coaches that come in, and we create these experiences based on fun that helps to unfold an individual's potential. In the nutrition segment, you know, we have a chef comes in, and some of the times it's interactive, where, you know, the individuals are cooking, because that's a great way to learn, is when you're actually engaged in the content. And so it's unlike, you know, the traditional personal development and how it's delivered, whereas you have a teacher in the front and then people sitting in chairs in the classroom in the back. We're moving around. We're, you know, doing this and doing that, but not staying in one place. And within our system, the students are also the teachers. We teach each other based off of our own unique experiences, because everyone has something to bring and to offer into a space if they're open to actually sharing it. And so that's really important within the process, that people have the space and the opportunity to express themselves. Because in self-expression, we have the opportunity to receive reflection on things in the way we see the world. And then when people are connected to each other in a really loving and open way, instead of conflict occurring when there's a disagreement, there's actual evolution that's occurring. You know, when people are talking about the way they see the world, and giving each other insights that help each other grow. So that's kind of an idea of how it looks. But what I tell you will never, you know, really give you what it really truly is. And I hear that all the time from people that experience the EvoRoom, that it's like a dream for them, you know, to reach this space and to be a part of what we've created. And, you know, I never thought that it could ever be what it is now, and as fast as we've grown. And I'm really excited, because I know that at the end of the day, the world's going to be a better place when you have people that are working on themselves. And I equate the EvoRoom, I use the metaphor of the X-Men as what we do. So in the X-Men, you guys have heard of that comic before, right?
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
With the X-Men, you have Professor X that goes around the world finding these mutants that have these really unique gifts, but they don't understand how to use them to their fullest potential, right? You have Wolverine, who has anger issues and actually uses his power destructively. So Professor X takes all these individuals to his mansion, hones their skills, and they become the X-Men and go off and save the world, right? But that's essentially what I see the EvoRooms being. Our job is to go seek individuals like yourselves that want to make a contribution in the world, that have talent and skills, that have a level of awareness now that they do want to contribute to the world. And so our job is to bring them to these private spaces, in San Diego and all around the world. We train them, give them the tools so that they could tap into their potential and start doing things that they probably could never imagine. And within that are the seeds of actual transformation, because when an individual shows up in their power, that's really how to make a shift in the world. It's not trying to change someone else. You change by influence. And how do you influence? Well, you change yourself, and people can see when you're in your power, when you're in confidence, and when you're doing the things that you're passionate about. They can feel it, not just see it. They can actually feel it. So our job is to do that, to help people get to that place within themselves, so that they can do what they were brought to this earth to do.
That sounds great. I love it.
Love it.
Definitely like to learn more and keep progressing and learning, and just want to be a sponge, So I don't know what the next steps are, but definitely like to learn more and keep going.
Yeah, well, we have our next Threshold experience coming up May 31st. So the first thing I would like to know is if you two are open and available that day to have the experience. Cory, I heard you work on the weekends, so that might be a challenge for you. But
yeah. It might be a challenge, yeah, but I could see if I could rearrange my schedule.
Okay.
I know Heather is free.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. And what we're doing right now is we've devised a event or experience that's coming up at the end of this year, where I have relationships with certain individuals that are known as like very influential, masters of the universe, if you will. And we're going to create what's called loose or tentatively called Evo Grand, which is like the elite forces for personal development. So instead of like the Navy SEALs or the Army Rangers, which are meant for war, imagine those same teams, but meant for actually good.
Sure.
But we're creating those teams, and each year, what I'm visioning now is that we'll have 7 or 8 to 10 people that are that team, and our job is to provide them the resources and the tools so that they can make even greater impacts than they're already making in the world. So to lead to that, what we're doing is we're hosting threshold events and immersions that allow us to give people tools to grow. And within that, we're tracking their development, we're observing their development, and based on their performance, we will be selecting 100 individuals to experience the Evo Grand at the end of this year. And at the Evo Grand, we're going to have the likes of Richard Branson, who will train in career and leadership, Beyonce training in self-expression, in song and dance, LeBron James training in physical well-being. So having the masters of the universe in their particular categories coming in and actually doing the EvoRoom experiences, facilitating the EvoRoom experiences. So what's happening on May 31st is we're inviting 20 to 25 people. We're going to offer to them these tools that I speak to you about, and then from there, that'll allow us to see, well, who's ready for the next step, and then we continue going forward with those individuals leading up to the Evo Grand. So May 31st would be the next step. And for that experience, it just slipped my mind what I was going to say. But yeah, the 31st, I just want to know if you two are open. And then what would be the next step is, as we move forward in the next couple of weeks, we'll, based off these interviews, we'll determine which people seem the most likely to interact best with each other. And then we'll make selections to who that's going to be. Probably within the next 4 or 5 days will be the bulk of it. And then we always save like a couple spots for, a couple days leading up to the event.
So the hours would be just all day?
Yeah, this one will be particularly from 9 o'clock in the morning until 8 p.m. in the evening.
Okay.
And then we've been having after parties afterwards, because most of the time people don't want to leave and they end up staying wherever we are. So we just have, a time for them to unwind and to connect with each other, and it's always a good time. We have so much fun.
And then do you know when the next one would be? Just curious.
The next one is going to be an immersion in the last weekend of June. So that's going to be a 3-day experience in June.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
So sounds like you guys are both open to the 31st and interested in potentially attending. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah. Absolutely. I just have to, rearrange my schedule, but that shouldn't be a problem.
Do it.
Okay. Well, let me know, how that looks for you, Cory. And as soon as you can get back to me, the better. I would love for you to both experience it together,
Absolutely.
if possible. I think that would be powerful for you too, because you can hold each other to the things that you commit to in the EvoRoom as accountability partners, and that's really, really important in the process.
No, I definitely like holding her accountable.
Awesome. Well, good stuff. Any last questions I could answer for you two?
Not right now.
I don't think so.
Awesome. I could tell you two are really, really awesome people, and I'm excited to, have some time to experience you in the physical realm and get to know you even better.
Yeah,
Yes.
same here, Jay.
I saw you had that, you're having another mix party thing.
Yeah. Yep. We decided yesterday that we were going to do it because one of our friends has just been asking us every day, like,
Yeah.
can I host one? I just want to host one. And so we're like, all right, I think this would be a good weekend to do it. So we decided to do that. You two are invited. It's Sunday. We don't know the time yet. We're still, working on that. But I would love for you two to come, interact with some of those that have attended the past EvoRooms that we've had.
Sure. This Sunday?
Yeah, this Sunday.
Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely.
To the energy that exists.
Yeah, I'm down.
Cool. All right.
Beautiful. What time do you work, Cory? What's your schedule like on the week?
Well, unfortunately, I work 10 to 4 on Sunday.
Okay.
I think I can maybe get out of there a little early.
Well, most likely it's going to be around that range, 5 to 10 or so, but it all depends. We'll see what the day looks like, because if it's a really nice day, maybe we do something, a little bit earlier. But again, I'll just shoot the details over to you, and we'd love to see the both of you there.
Yeah, we'll make it.
Awesome, you rock stars.
All right.
Enjoy the rest of your night, Jay.
Yeah, have a good night, Jay.
Thank you. You as well.
Talk
Thank
to
you
you soon.
for coming on. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.